Alright guys, so the last time you saw me, Bruce, and Halfway were walking into B-Dubs. It is now Sunday at about 5 o'clock. Rolled out of the hotel. I think I left there like 11:30 or so. Went on back to Andrew's shop, Midgets in Mooresville. Dropped the single cab off, unloaded it, and just kind of like went through everything with them. And told them like what's all happening, like concerns, what worked great, what didn't work, but we got work and everything else, and got their opinion on having to reach out to a person about an issue. And so we're gonna wait on until tomorrow to contact them. But yeah, as far as the overall review of Rudy's, it was a great event as always. It was burning hot. It rained like it always does, but we were able to get some racing done. Not upset at all about how the truck performed, especially for the time that we were working with. We are going to be working on getting a higher stall converter so we can leave it a little bit harder. And so we got to change the stall. Might check the head because we think we've got something going on with it, because it does have a weird idle, and we don't know if it's a valve seat. We don't know what it is. And also, it's been trying to run away on us. It tried to run away on Andrew and his shop, and it tried to run away on me. In the previous video, you saw David run up and scare me and all. Well, right before or right after that, I can't remember exactly already. My memory's shot out. But I gave it a little bit of throttle to try to get help. So you keep here. I'm gonna go off on another little tangent. You keep hearing me say, "Get some heat in it. Get some heat in it." So basically, what I'm saying is the cold engine just doesn't burn the fuel as well, and along with the transmission, it always helps to have a little bit more heat in it. But so first round of qualifying or eliminations, I'm sorry, the truck would not hardly spoil. So typically, whenever it is warm and has some temperature in it, it'll come up to like 1700 RPM, which is probably where the converter is stalled at, which is 300 to 400 RPM, about 300 tighter than stock. And it went up to like 12, maybe 1300. And so I'm sitting there, if you were there and you saw me, I was sitting there just bumping it, trying to get the nitrous to go in it and trying not to backfire it, because too little of RPM and not enough air, and the nitrous is so combustible, it basically will stall the truck out. And whenever you fire it back up and the nitrous left in a cylinder, it'll go back through the exhaust and hit the warm manifold or the hot manifold, and will rapidly expand. And that's what typically you'll see. I know Michael Dalton's did it, the RLC 2-wheel drive, it backfired. Maryland Performance, their 2-wheel drive, it backfired in the pits Friday afternoon. So basically, if you ever see white smoke and the truck shut off and they go to fire it back up and it goes boom, nitrous backfire. Jesse Warren at UCC, first or second year in Indianapolis, his backfired. I know a video went borderline viral about that. You hear the loud bang, blows the exhaust out the bottom of it. So that's what all that is. So I was trying to feed it nitrous to help bring it up, which nitrous is an oxidizer. It is way more efficient than a turbo ever thought about being. But it's cold. It makes the flame burn better. Everything goes smoother, but you do worry about overspeeding the turbo with it. So I was trying to get all that without it actually stalling out and popping. So I was sitting there and it was crackling and popping and banging. And that's when it got to the point I was literally spun around in my back seat watching the stack just hit bah, bah, bah. So we finally got all that, and which is another way to overcome it. And whenever you saw Vinny tighten up the manifold bolts, I tried to spool it up after all that, or prior to that. That's what it was. That's why everything was hot. And the truck pushed right through the brakes. I think we got it to maybe 2,000 RPM, and it was just cruising through the brakes. And so we've got to get that fixed. As far as the runaway goes, I'm going to pull the AFC apart and see where the rack is. Because I mean, if you just crack the throttle, it'll go to 1500 RPMs, and then it'll just go wah wah wah, and it'll hit 3. You got to pull the shut off, and it's just a very, very scary situation. And so we've got to get that fixed. Going to check the AFC to see where the plate's at, check the head, and a few other little miscellaneous things. The transmission is good, but we might pull it apart whenever we do pull the converter out of it. We're not real sure what brand we're going to go with. I know Andrew's really tight with Phil Taylor down at DPC, he out of Georgia. He's really tight with Frank and Tom and down in RevMax, which is local to us, which is a big plus. And I've ran their converters in the past and absolutely loved them. Oh, excuse me. So we've got a few things up in the air right now, but for now it's Sunday. Waiting on the girlfriend. She had to take her friend to a dinner up in down in uptown Charlotte, so we're waiting on her. We're at the movies, about to go see Avengers, and the 4:30 show was sold out, and I got here at 4:25, and it's about 5 o'clock now. So I just want to give y'all guys a little bit more in depth about the previous video and just kind of share a little bit of knowledge if I can. And if y'all have any questions, just comment them down below and I will answer them. Thankfully the page is still small, so I can see everybody's comments, and it's not like I've got to go through thousands or hundreds of them. So I know I saw some of you guys and y'all want to take pictures, and I had a lot going on, and I decided to take you up on it, yes, and I did not. And I know a bunch of y'all try to talk to me. I said, hey, and that's about all we could say. But I do apologize for that. I just had so much going on. So it's pretty stressful. It's been almost exactly a year, because I raced at the last spring Rudy's and I started pulling. So I kind of had to get back in my groove. But sorry for the rambling, but we will get back to the truck action right now. Alright guys, so today is now Tuesday. In my first clip, the introduction to the channel and the introduction to the single cab, why is this thing shaking so bad? Golly, that is absolutely horrible. But I kind of hinted at a truck in the background. We're still shaking. Trying to rest my arm on the center console and talk to you guys, but I kind of hit a truck in the background that I was going to show y'all at a later date. I sold that truck today, so I will go ahead and kind of tell you what the plan with that thing was. So that was a 98.5 extended cab long bed truck that I bought from a good buddy of mine in Kentucky, Glenn. Well, I got two buddies out of Glenn. This one's name is Dowding. His last name is Dowding. I got a buddy of mine, Glenn Strutz, who's in Vegas now. But so I bought this one from Glenn Dowding up in Kentucky. My plan with it was cut the frame off the back of the cab, back calf it, and wrap it gloss black to match my 01. Ever since I got the single cab, haven't really been able to focus much more money towards the 98.5 truck build. So really it's just kind of one of those things that I was just sitting and collecting dust, and I wanted that truck to actually go to somebody that was going to be able to use it for like right now, instead of me just kind of letting it in a form rot away. So posted it up today or yesterday, late yesterday, and got a guy to come out and he's buying it. So we are headed back, had to go drop off something off the trailer. We are about to go ship out an ATI balancer, and then we'll be loading up that truck and going to deliver it out in Huntersville. I know it's not the exciting race truck stuff you guys like to see, but this right here will free up a bunch. Actually have a decent amount of stuff for the engine that was going to go in that truck. So now we can either give it to the single cab or the 01. So we're kind of up in the air on that also. The 13 mil pump that I have, the Ferrell 13, was going to be for that. I have lines for that. So basically right now I've got a decent amount of parts that just got opened up. So in a way it's not race truck stuff, but it opens up plenty of doors for more race truck stuff. We're going to be able to focus on the single cab. we're gonna be able to get the 01 back ready to go pulling. I'm not gonna try to be spread so thin on 3. So this is gonna be, it's really a lot of weight off my shoulders of trying to balance them all. So this is a very, very good thing. So all right guys, I will pick you up here in a little bit once we get this thing dropped off and after I get the balancer shipped out. So I'll pick you guys up here in a solid hour. All right guys, so we have the 98.5 loaded up. It is strapped down. And so right now we are headed to go deliver it. Winched it up on the trailer, had Joaquin operate it while I was inside pushing the brakes, keep it where it needs to be. So that was very uneventful, but that thing has 0 interior, so I was kind of having to sit on the 2-piece drive shaft and kind of fix myself over it. But we're on the road. We're about an hour away from where the guy lives. All right guys, just sold the roller, getting backed up now. Here, let me set this thing down here. Here, say goodbye to the future race truck. All right guys, well, that deal is done. Really kind of upset to let it go, but like I mentioned earlier, we have other things to focus on with a single cab. So this right here is just definitely gonna take a lot of weight off my shoulders, and we're gonna be able to move forward and really focus and get everything we need dialed in before we start trying to make bigger moves than we really need to. And the people renting the house weren't really too keen on having to stare at it coming out of their front door, so that's a little understandable. But all right guys, so it is now 7:57. I already missed a few calls from mom and dad saying, hey, where are you for dinner? So we're gonna go ahead and rush on back. The girlfriend has exams tomorrow, so she's been really badly wanting to see me and hang out before so we're just gonna keep the princess happy and do the best we can. So all right guys, this is gonna wrap up another little short video, just kind of give you all a little bit more of the day-to-day, a little bit more behind the scenes stuff. So have a good day, have a good night, happy birthday. I don't know when you're watching this thing, so I do appreciate y'all's time, and we will not take out the stop sign, but we'll catch y'all on the next one. See you.